I blame myself.
So do I.
No sense worrying about it now.
Why worry? Each of us is wearing an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back.
Yeah. Now let's get ready. Switch me on.
Well, that's great. Either I have a monster in my kitchen or I'm completely crazy.
I don't think you're crazy.
That makes me feel so much better. Are you the keymaster?
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
If the ionization rate is constant for all ectoplasmic entities, we could really bust some heads. In a spiritual sense, of course.
Oh yeah, what is up, Ghostheads? It's another episode of the Ghostheads radio show. My name is Ted, aka Steady, and joining me as always is the one and only Matty B.
Hey, boys, I don't have a can to crack this time. For our next guest, I really wish I had a can to crack, but we're sipping the wine tonight, so for everyone drinking along, cheers.
Rob's already in the chat. I love the energy. Here we go. And Rob also says, want coffee? Yes, have some. Oh, gosh. Another exciting show tonight for you guys. If you're in the chat, say what's up. Let us know which chapter you're representing. Let us know what you got going on tonight. We have another incredible show. We are joined tonight by another chapter. This is our mission to highlight all the good things that chapters are doing across the country. And eventually, we're going to be highlighting what chapters are doing across the world. This group is another fantastic group, just like the Cincinnati that we've talked to, just like the South Dakota group that we've talked to. We're very excited. Give a round of applause and a very happy Ghost Heads welcome to the one and only Northwest Ghostbusters. What's going on, Bo and Rob? How you guys doing?
Hey, how's it
Round of applause.
going? Thanks for having us on. I gotta say, that was a hell of a haunted forest.
Yeah.
that opening. Like laundry there, you're gonna get screwed. Oh my God. The amount of sheets that have been sacrificed in that small town is scary.
Just keep going.
And actually, it's interesting because I don't love the intro per se, but you guys are the perfect guys to talk to. So now that you called me out on air, I get to call you out on air, and you get to give me a favor. You get to animate. You get to animate my intro now. You get to animate my intro now as a pure favor.
For a wonderful price, we may be able to facilitate such a thing for you fellas over there.
The price is already on your head. I mean, it's for
Do
free
you
now.
like Rob's clear Pacific Northwest accent?
Yeah, my Pacific Northwest accent. I'm Seattle born and bred. Yeah, but forget about it, eh?
Yeah, Ghostbusters Northwest apparently were posers.
Yeah, exactly. We're transplants. We're transplants from Jersey.
Actually, Rob is he's Canadian. Sometimes you might catch his accent come through on the audio for those cartoons. For those who don't know, we're Ghostbusters Northwest. We have a YouTube channel, Ghostbusters Northwest, and we did a bunch of you may have seen them some cartoons that explain the pseudoscience behind the technology and that kind of VHS 80s like training video vibe with and Rob's the voice here.
Sort of, yeah.
Everyone thinks he sounds like Ray from Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the proton pack.
But
we all know it. We all love it.
So that's sort of our claim to community fame there. My day job is as a creative director for a marketing firm here in the Washington, Seattle area. So I make motion graphics and that explain like all the Microsoft technology, Google, Starbucks, and that kind of stuff. So I distill dry things into interesting 60-second, explainers. And so I'm like, well, I should do the thing I love the most, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And so I did it on a whim a year and a half ago or something. I got such a good response that I've been doing them. It's a lot of work, so it's kind of been a slow going on the PK, but it's in the works. The PK will be coming out sometime.
Whenever, yeah, I'm still with
Exciting.
you said script, but it was like, yeah, we got to get to it. So
Yeah.
That's exciting. And we have some fans of yours already. Rob from the Steel City Ghostbusters in Pittsburgh says, love those videos. Also see Pax in the chat saying, what's up? Scott's in the chat saying, good evening. What's going on, Scotty? Good to see you again, my friend. And yeah, those videos, they're so well done. They're so entertaining. The comedy is there, they're so funny. Like you've nailed both covering the components and the science behind, this fictional world that is Ghostbusters, but you're also doing it in an extremely fun way. And so yes, we appreciate them immensely. Job well done. Continue doing that. Understand and know that people are enjoying them, and so we definitely appreciate that. We want to hear how you guys got started with this, though. The Ghostbusters Northwest you mentioned before we started are still relatively young compared to some other chapters across the country, or chapters that you've met. So, Bo or Rob, let us know how you got involved. How does all start?
It kind of was a happy accident in the sense that I made that cartoon, the Proton Pack, the first one, and I needed some sort of. I was like, should I do it as like an official Ghostbusters thing and make it look like it was from the New York branch? And I go, no, let's put a little spin on there. I mean, there's a whole sense of humor from the Pacific Northwest that is so unique, and in my mind, I kind of saw it as like. Ghostbusters meets Portlandia meets Twin Peaks, and so I thought, well, let's do Ghostbusters Northwest because I also like the letters GBNW, just kind of has a ring to it, and so I just put that sort of a fake franchise around it, fictional, and I put it out there, and then I started getting literally like as soon as the video's uploaded, I'm getting like emails going, "Are you an organization? Are you a franchise? Can I join? I've been looking for that to join a group, and I'm in the Northwest," and so I go, okay. Let's do it. Let's make it a group. Because before it was just a fictional, let's add something to the video so it has context and gives a unique voice. And so we're still very small, but we've been building our ranks. And I mean, like I was saying before the show, I mean, in the grand scheme of all these franchises, we're wee babies. Like, I mean, we have a very high polished look in terms of our website and our videos, but like,
because that's what we do in the Northwest. But
yeah, we make it look really great, but behind the scenes, half-assed. That's the Northwest.
It's popsicle sticks and duct tape. We don't know what the hell's going on. There's just a lot of Rainier. That's it. Like.
But well, it's clear that you have the tools and you have the talent to expand upon that. So I know that in Portland, they have the Rose City Ghostbusters. Yes. And then is there another chapter in Seattle that you're competing with? Are you Seattle Metro or are you just...
I don't think of it as like competing. I just sort of, everyone has their own sort of voice they want to put on it. So, I mean, in a dream, I would love to have Ghostbusters Northwest be just the branding umbrella for all of the Northwest. But I'm not going to step on anyone's foot and I try to be like you listen to me, I got the fancy cartoons. But But I know there's Rain City Ghostbusters that are here. I don't know if there's. I mean, they were small, just starting on the same time. I don't know if they're still doing it. And then I think there's something called Pacific Northwest Ghostbusters. But at the time I started these videos, I tried to find them, but they seem to be defunct. But I think they've kind of come back. I think it's sort of. I found that some of these videos have sparked some people's interest again because when Afterlife came out, on a whim on my Instagram, on the Ghostbusters Northwest Instagram, not my personal one, I just said, hey, I'm going to go see the early showing at this theater and come if you want to come. And like 45 people showed up and like 30 were in costume and I was blown away. I was expecting maybe 3 people to show up. So I think the movie itself coming out, but also I'll attribute a little bit maybe to the cartoons. I feel like kind of reinvigorated the Northwest fandom to some degree, at least from my perspective. I don't want to talk for anyone else, but so there's chapters all over, but they're so siloed, and sometimes they kind of come and go. So it's hard for me to keep track of them all. So that's partially why I just threw Ghostbusters Northwest on that cartoon because I was like, I don't know who to help collaborate with, so I just sort of made a mass umbrella. I was sort of like, how would I brand it? Like if Ghostbusters were a Northwest style brand, what would it be?
Yeah.
But and then you could also include Canada as well. Some of the provinces would fit into there. So you have
Yeah, problem.
GB Northwest is good because the first time, because I had mentioned to you guys, I lived in Portland for 10 years before. I've lived here almost a year now in San Antonio, but I was in Portland for 10 years. And the first time I ever saw a Ghostbuster like screen accurate head to toe was on Halloween, the first year that I moved um, to Portland. And there's such a spooky contingent through that area. It's spooky half of the year. I mean, it looks like Halloween night 8 months out of the year, and so it's a perfect place to do that. Do you find yourself busy at all? Are you getting requests of folks to come out and do some things?
So one of our members, so we've collaborated with this nonprofit out of well, kind of near Olympia. If anyone's from Washington knows where that is, sort of our capital. He started something called Ecto 360. 360 being the area code, but also I guess we're covering all 306 degrees of whatever. And so building an Ecto, not a 59 Echo, but a beautiful Cadillac hearse nonetheless. And he's working with a charity to get it built and then make appearances, whether it's parades, hospitals. I know very big into autism and that kind of stuff. So it's almost done, that Ecto. When it is, we plan on blasting full blast, going out and about, hopefully as soon as October, but mechanical issues and having the mechanical gods will dictate if it gets done in time. Yeah. But a big goal is once that's locked in is to really like hit all the different things, because there's so many things around the Northwest. Like you said, it's spooky all the time. And I would love to do a partnership with like the Underground Tour, and do some charity there, or you can take the Underground Tour with the Ghostbusters Northwest, and
we just hide down there and just like jump out.
We were talking about doing the same thing, very similar, with a few ghost tours in town here, because San Antonio also has quite a spooky history with the Alamo here, and so we've been looking actually at working with a local group or a ghost tour, so we can maybe cross promote. Even like let's do a commercial, not to make everything about retail, but let's work together where the Ecto pulls up on scene, and you're kind of taking the Ghostbusters through this spooky area. So I love that idea, and it would go so well in the Northwest. I mean, it's just you guys are in the mecca of a great place to start a franchise.
Like I would love to have a fleet of like totally like quintessential Northwest vehicles that Echo fly, like an '84 Volvo wagon and like a '70s Wagoneer with the wood paneling.
Yeah,
like
some hybrids,
a couple Prius because you have to.
Maybe Tesla.
Hey.
Like for us to have a franchise in Seattle, we have to agree that our Ectos are electric friendly.
Exactly. Carbon neutral.
You do what you can. You do what you can.
I was talking it's like instead of biodiesel, it's bio-ecto cars. Yeah. So you recycle vehicle into a fuel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. They run on slime. That's a ectoplasm.
You can't get road rage because a car's going to turn into something.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's actually really interesting and funny. You guys should write the cartoon, the new animated series.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like Rob and I, our background is we come up with cartoon show ideas and we pitched them in LA. That was like our passion.
That's our other
Like we have this cartoon on YouTube. It's called Scottish Ninjas. We haven't done it in years, but it's a web series, like 2 seasons worth. It's Kill Bill meets Braveheart meets South Park. It's booze, balls, and blood. Higher levels of enlightenment through inebriation. But so we pitched shows. We're always looking at the comedy angle of things, and like even just these cartoons. Like in my back of my head, I have a whole web series of what Ghostbusters Northwest would be if it were a show, a la the Twin Peaks meets Portlandia meets Ghostbusters. But we're always thinking of the goofy jokes, and so whenever we can, that's partially why the videos I throw in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Doc Brown, and try to find these fun connections, and then throw jokes in there, and just be like, I mean. That's what I liked about Ghostbusters is 3 things that draw me into it is the seriousness of the parapsychology and the technology behind it, because Ray and really Dan just made it so serious because it's from his family, right? So it's in its roots, but also just the scariness of it. But then just the absurd humor and so if I obviously can't make my cartoons scary, but I can make them very technical and take it seriously, and then throw in just those absurd jokes, and so.
And lots of Easter eggs all over the place.
Yeah.
So
Gotta have it. So that's what you like about Ghostbusters. Rob, what about you? What kind of draws you into a Ghostbusters chapter like this?
Well, really, it's like the thing is that me and Bo work on these cartoons all the time. So the fact is that I've always been a huge fan for being a little kid, like from when the movie first came out and everything like that. So, but working with Bo for the last, how many? I mean, it's been.
Yeah, we've known each other for a long ass time.
We met in college, and we're working on these kinds of projects. We're the back row guys that used to come up with crazy ideas all the time and drive. They'd put us together organically, and we'd always just knock it out of the park.
And the teachers would be like, "Put those two together. I got to see what crap they're coming up with."
Yeah.
But Rob's level of fandom and mine are a little different. Like mine is sort of like unhealthy.
Yes.
And Rob's is
Rob's
like, I appreciate it quite a bit, and I'll work with you on that. But
yes.
But I'm like, but I'm Rob. I'm like, you're saying it wrong, Rob.
Yeah.
I got a proton pack back here. It's all like the whole like fiberglass and aluminum. It's always a thing where like, I have like this, just like a whole. I budget. It's like, okay, I'm throwing this much away on a trap this month. I'm throwing this much away on this month, and I just and this is our office. It's kind of an old schoolhouse, and if I turn around, it's just Ghostbusters stuff everywhere. And to the point where Rob's like, "Do I have space for my things?" And I'm like, "Is it Ghostbusters?"
Like he ruined the table, like doing like proton packs.
And then I got friends bringing their stuff here, so my level of it is like high.
I could never be that. I mean, it's unhealthy. It really is.
But Rob's fandom comes from hockey and beer.
Yeah, hockey, beer, scotch, those kinds of things. Lots of liquor, the Celtic arts, those kinds of things.
Sounds good to us. Let us know. We always ask Ghostbuster chapters, what are some of their most memorable moments or favorite events they've done in the past? Why don't each of you guys talk about some of the events or some of the organizations you've supported in the past and how great those were?
Yeah. So again, we're new, so as we're building up our team in the Ecto, we're still working into it. But Adam Besser, who's the guy behind Ecto 360, that guy hustles, man. Like he somehow can like get a hold of anyone and get them to like buy in on like this crazy thing called Ghostbusters Northwest. And so I know that he's already like made connections with a bunch of children's hospitals, and he's setting up parades. And so like all the things I'm looking forward to are coming down the road, because again, we're very new. I mean, we did these cartoons, and the cartoons spawned this sort of organization. I didn't expect that. I was just doing it on sort of I felt creative. I wanted to make something Ghostbusters and put it out there, and then it's become this whole thing beyond what I started. So, so in terms of the charity things, as we're building that up, so I wish I had more examples of things we've done. Again, we're new, but talk to me again in 6 months. I'll have some for you. But one of them, I think, a moment that really stood out to me, just in terms of like, was unexpected, was the two things. One was, again, the screening of Afterlife. We went to go. Certain theaters had like day before screenings, and the fact that like 45, 50 people showed up, and then most of them were in costume, and then everyone in the theater was like, "Who are these guys?" Because they didn't know. And so it became this party scene in the lobby of this theater, and the theater didn't even expect it to kind of be this big. And then people were showing up with some Ectos in the front of the theater, and then it became this whole massive fandom scene, and people were taking pictures with us, and in the lobby we're taking pictures of us with the theater, and like kids were coming out and hanging out, and it made me realize, okay, one, Ghostbusters Northwest as a brand was speaking to people and really bring them out.
Yeah.
And two, okay, I do need to leverage this, because at this time I just met like Adam Besser, who was doing the Ecto 360. So, and it was just some people trying to tell me, hey, let's do something with this. And so, because my fandom was always strong, but then at a certain period, I kind of took a step back for maybe 10 years, not from the fandom, but just kind of like, life. And so then around a couple of years ago, I got serious about it again, because, my mom passed away. And so I was like, what am I waiting for? Like, let's build a pack. Let's do these things. I mean, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? So that kind of sparked me to really, and that's one thing I bonded with Adam Besser about. Is his mother passed away as well. We both got this thing of like, life is short. Grab onto what brings you joy. And so our goal is to dive full steam into that once the Ecto is done, and really bring that joy to others. But it brought me a lot of joy to see everyone come out to that screening and see that everyone wanted to play in the same sandbox. And then I was recently at Emerald City Comic Con a couple weeks ago, and I was completely joyed by the amount of children I saw either in costume. Like I think I saw an 8-year-old girl wearing a Ghostbusters 2 outfit. So it was even like not just Ghostbusters, but Ghostbusters 2, like going into the like that's a level of fandom there, because it's the blue one with the charcoal suit with the the 2 logo, and then or just kids who knew what it was. Like, I mean, I remember just not long ago, like, a lot of kids would go, Ghostbusters what? Unless their parents, trained them well. And so it was like, so just seeing that also warms me a lot too, just to see that it's now been revitalized. And but again, it's we're still new. So I hope to one day be able to say, yeah, I mean, we raised X amount of money for yada yada, but we're very new. Our cartoons make our reputation precede us beyond what we've actually built yet. So that's a weird thing too, because like people see that and they think that we're larger than we are and will ask me things, and I'm like, it's me and like big guys, and we could try, but we're building still. Like had I known, I maybe would have done a smaller rollout. But the cartoon all of a sudden was just like, that must be a bona fide thing.
Well, and that's actually kind of rolls into what I sort of find one of the sort of the nicest parts for me is that I was down in Burbank at a film festival, and they were having sort of a post film festival event, and they had Ghostbusters guys there.
It was the LA Ghostbusters.
It was the LA Ghostbusters, and I texted Bo and I said, hey, they got some Ghostbuster guys down. He's like, oh, you got to go talk to them and find out who they are, and tell them you're from Ghostbusters Northwest and all that stuff. So I was like, I wandered over and I was like, hey, how you guys doing? What chapter you guys from? And blah blah blah. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm from Ghostbusters Northwest. Like, oh my god, you're the guys that do those videos, man. Those are fucking awesome. Let's go, holy shit. And can we swear? Is that? I mean, well, I get up swearing anyways. So they're like, yeah, like, so they're like, oh my god, that's great, and they start quoting it back, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is like freaking amazing. I just
wow,
it was just such a really awesome experience.
It was kind of weird. It was like the cart going before the horse, because in reality, we should have formed an organization and made some marketing materials, but I didn't. I made this thing. I want to share it. And so it's kind of having to backtrack so we can actually be what people think we are.
Well, no, I'm actually on board with your side of it. Because I'm very much the same way, where it's like I want to establish an aesthetic and an idea, and then have people join into that. Because if you were to try to establish those types of videos and things like you did, if you already had an established chapter, you'd have to get everyone to vote on it. Now there's a lot of politics involved. And so now you're able to just go ahead and establish the aesthetic that you want, the idea that you want, and then people can join into that. So I think you did it the right way, to be honest, especially in this day and age.
Good to hear. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that's partially why I sort of am collaborating with Ecto 360, because that's really the charity. And I want, and like you can put it under the umbrella of Ghostbusters Northwest, but my real wheelhouse is sort of creating, like you said, like a brand, a lifestyle kind of like visual aesthetic, and I kind of want to have autonomy on that, and then I can bring anyone who wants to take that with them and use it to create good charitable events and stuff. And it's funny because I even go as far as to like I'm always in character. So anytime I reply to a comment or anytime I reply to an email, it's not me. It's like Ghostbusters employee me, which is like a little dirtbaggy, a little not caring about the rules and laws, and like
there's a cigarette hanging out of it.
Like, always referencing like how we're running through interns really fast. And, like, the intern was going to finish the cartoon, but they were scrubbing the containment unit and got sick. And so it's fun because I try to until now in this particular show I've always I never break character, and just always try to, in everything I reply to, I always try to turn it into some sort of business pitch where I'm like, oh, that's great. Like even if someone throws hate on a comment and just trolls us, I will then go I'll try to turn into an advertisement for a fake service that we provide. Like call us for this service package. Someone said that I should go to hell. Like you suck, go to hell. And so I wrote, oh, we do daily for our job, and we can and we do it for you. 20% off coupon,
inquire about our hell plan. It's going to be fantastic.
and so it's sort of an exercise of just staying character. So it's a weird, almost like a YouTube improv. Comments.
Exactly. It's performance art. It's a persona. You just kind of do it and lean into it and just have fun because whatever you do, no one can be mad.
But if I could find a way to take our goofy, just half-assed comedy and turn it into the logistical machine that is the Arizona Ghostbusters, let's say. Or, the LA Ghostbusters.
Some sort of ruthlessly efficient German.
I mean, somehow the pinnacle, I feel of leveraging fandom to the most amazing ways. Everyone out of Germany. Holy hell! Talk about franchises. I mean, they're recreating gunner seats. They're creating entire I created the bottom half of the firehouse. I'm putting it in this festival or in this con, and
it's like, oh my god,
it's like
insane. It's insane.
Statue I replicated already.
Yes.
No, they are a whole other stratosphere all by themselves. And you have some other groups that are Matt's room is haunted. You have some other groups that are catching up to them a little bit. We talked earlier about the Arizona Ghostbusters, which those guys are just killing it. They have, life-size displays at their convention and events. So yeah, shout out to the Arizona team. We also got some more people in the chat. Rudy, I see you in the chat. Joseph says, "What's up, Busters? What's going on, Joe?" He also says Matt knows all about trolls.
Facts.
I relish in the comments that are trolls because it just gives me a chance to just like turn it into comedy somehow and use make it look to actually make it the comment like entertaining.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, don't forget, I also enjoy when people go great cartoon art, but like someone just goes like, or they say that's wrong. You got the technology wrong. I'll be like, I just really enjoy finding a way to make something fun out of it. And so trolls for me, I'm like, yes, give me your trolls. Strike me down.
Feed me your trolls.
Feed him.
But,
Terry, see you as well, Terry. Venkman's not the only one.
Team Terry.
And,
Team Terry.
Team Terry. Hashtag Team Terry, everybody.
Okay,
And Scott's in the chat. Just dropped 530 stars. Bravo to Scott. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate your support.
As I mentioned in the chat, that this magnificent feast here represents the last of the petty cash. So any stars we can get to support, hey, we're all down with that.
And I'm not trying to tease too much, but Matt's already told me about things that he has in the works that he's going to give to our stars, providers, and our supporters online. So Matt's got some really cool things in the works. I'm just teasing it now, and I promise you it'll be right around the corner. So yeah, very exciting. Very exciting.
Patches into that pot.
Do you need some swag?
Yeah. Well, I'm doing actually right now. Speaking of patches, every chapter I'm getting on, I'm asking for a patch, at least one, if two, because I'm putting together I have a jacket that's a lot like a flight suit. It's kind of like a bomber jacket, and I'm going to put all of the franchise patches on it, and then I'm going to try to get Ernie and Dan to sign it, and then auction that off for a charity. So I have that in the works. So any patches that you can send, everyone so far has sent one, I believe. And so I'd like to keep that trend going because I think we could get $1,000 out of that. If it's a bomber jacket with like 30, 40 chapters on it, and signed, I think we could do some good for some charity on that.
Yeah.
And it might be bulletproof with that many patches.
Yeah, honestly. But hey, I'm not a sewer. I'm not an embroiderer. I might just be ironing these things on. So we're not going to say the quality is going to be great. I'm not going to overpitch the quality. We'll see. It might just be double-sided tape.
No lifetime guarantee.
Yeah.
No. And once it's sold, fine.
Yeah,
I want a Ghostbusters Northwest trucker hat.
Oh, hell
That
yeah.
is so cool. That is so cool.
Well, when you're driving, because I have those Oregon roots. I love that hat. The evergreens in the back is incredible.
The classic trucker.
Yeah, you don't want to. The logo's perfect. I want to just do minimalist change. I just put the tree line there, and then there's one a little bit longer, kind of like it's. I mean, it's an unintentional dick joke.
So there's some people in the chat that said they want one. Are you guys planning on doing like a shop where people can buy your merch?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know what the how much wiggle room we have in terms of legality in terms of that stuff, but like, I mean, these two hats it's made for the kind of part of our uniform. We kind of made up our own version of a Ghostbusters uniform, which is the uniform, but then like plaid underneath it, and then underneath that it's got to be like a vintage Northwest like Sonics. Or like the Kingdom.
Well, it was for all that. It was for that video that we're working on. We're still working on. There's another. Yeah, there's a.
And then the trucker has part of the uniform. And then like I want to make it so instead of like the walkie-talkie with the holster, it would be a cozy for your beer.
Yeah.
And so so at some point, I would like to maybe make a run of hats and maybe some like distressed like classic Northwest shirts, but they have the Ghostbusters Northwest logo that kind of distressed and feel like something you get out of REI.
Yeah, probably definitely some beer koozies because you got it, man. You got it.
And then I need one shirt that has like a Twin Peaks sign on the front of it, but then it's like Northwest GB or the GB Northwest
we did a
instead
video,
in that font. I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
And with so many breweries up there too, you guys should work with the local brewery and get a beer.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do like some sort of collaboration with breweries.
Collaboration, yeah.
And then like do events there, and then get like some like limited edition GBNW beers out there. So
yeah, hell yeah.
All sales can go to charity or something.
We did one for Scottish Ninjas, so I'm sure we can hook that up. We had our own Kilt Fuel Scottish Ninja beer for a while. So,
and we're looking at videos beyond just animation too. Like we have 2 up there that are live action. One is a Twin Peaks homage where. Because just 20 minutes from here
just up the road.
is the cafe of the cherry pies. So we
Oh
film
my
there.
God.
Timer fly out of the cherry pie shop, and then it just says every town has one. But and then we did a spoof of, because Bigfoot's known for the area, so we did a little live action short where like a woman finds Bigfoot in her backyard and she calls Ghostbusters Northwest, but we can't do anything about it. We're like, is the Bigfoot dead? If not, then I can't help you.
Press one.
So like we're looking at some more live action, like some fake commercials, like almost like Better Call Saul-esque, like lo-fi, little bit like shady commercials, and and bringing in some merch. I definitely like to do that. It's just
it's one of the 3 jobs that we have. 4 jobs, 5 jobs.
But I mean, that's the great thing about Ghostbusters Northwest is I feel like it lends itself to all sorts of anything that's distinctly Northwest, Ghostbusters-ify it.
Yep.
Boom, that's a thing. It's a shirt, it's a hat, it's a belt buckle. It's
you want to get in on it, man. It's a movement, man.
You guys are salesmen, that's for sure.
Matt, Joe said he's going to take your jacket before you can auction that bad boy off, so be wary of Joseph there.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I find it works well to confess to the crime before you do it.
I have it in writing now that you're going to steal something that I'm giving away for charity. So who's the bad guy here, Joe?
And then Adam's in the chat. I guess you guys do know, also know Adam. He says you also have a badass response vehicle. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so that's Adam, the one I was telling you about with Ecto 360. So he's building that Ecto out of a newer model Cadillac hearse, but a Cadillac hearse nonetheless. The soul is still there, and he just called me earlier today and gave me the whole scoop. It's so close to being done, and the whole point of that is purely for charity. It's like that's going to be our go-to event. That's what we're going to use to raise money and show up, and it's going to be our calling card. And he like I said before, Adam is this guy who can make anything come out of nothing, and he can find ways to make things happen and reach out to charities, and he's a real go-getter. And the
360 will be good too. I mean, people in Vancouver spend a lot of money. It's a 360. That's the area code, right? So he's from Vancouver.
So there's 306 too. I can't remember. But 360 was almost like it's like Mount Vernon getting close to the border. Yeah.
Most of Washington.
It's a little confusing.
Because then it's 604. Right?
Yeah. The 360 is like the Vancouver, like main area code, but that's awesome either way. I mean, because then you're stretching down
Vancouver, Washington, Canada.
Vancouver, not BC. Washington, not DC.
Then you're right. Yeah. I was thinking.
Yeah.
You're right.
Southern Washington.
That's distinctly a Northwest thing. Which Vancouver are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm over here like I don't know what you guys are talking about. Adam says, yeah, Adam says he appreciates you guys and that you're doing great things. Absolutely.
Yeah, and thank you for letting us come on. And I wanted to say, anyone who wants to use those videos for anything, whether it's for your convention booth or if you want to put it in a
bar mitzvah, whatever you want, or Christmas
fan film you're making, you want to have it in the background or whatever. This is blanket permission. Yes, use them. You just email me, and either you could download them off of YouTube directly if you have that ability, or email me at Ghostbusters Northwest, all written out, at gmail.com, and I'll send you a Google Drive link. You can download the full res versions and use it whatever your purposes are. Just ask that if someone asks you who made these awesome things, you say Ghostbusters Northwest.
Yep.
Hey, that's
That is
awesome.
that is tremendous. Are you guys hearing that? Everybody in the chat? Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing right
Tell
there.
your friend.
Yeah,
Tell
we're
your
gonna use them for sure, and we definitely appreciate you guys coming on and sharing all of your great work with us. You do owe me an intro video now because you talk crap about mine, so we'll talk about that later. And then if we can work out a patch or something, I'll talk to you of that. Maybe a swap or something we can figure out. So I want you guys featured on the jacket for sure.
Yeah, I'll send me your address afterwards, and I'll mail them tomorrow. And it looks like someone said we need to do a slime blower video. That's one of our most requested videos. Do a slime blower, so that will happen. Just know that and the animation department consists of me. So
voiceover department, me.
So as fast as we can, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, and also if you want to learn more about Adam's project, if you go to Ghostbusters NW.com. There's a link at the bottom that says you see a rotating heart with the ecto inside of it. That'll link to his website so you can see about the more charitable side of things. And if you want to donate or see what or ask questions or bring us on for an event, that's the place to go. So GhostbustersNW.com, and then you'll see the link at the bottom. It's clear as day because it's animated. It's always spinning around, and just click on the heart.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, I know you guys have been talking about, things are in the works, but do you have any set dates, any locations, any events where people can see you in person that you know of already?
They all passed. We just did one like 2 weeks ago. But as Halloween approaches, there will definitely be some, but nothing's locked in yet. I'm trying to work something with maybe Mopop, which is the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. They're having a Halloween event. I want to see if we can't get Ghostbusters Northwest in there and do some sort of work with that. But that might be we'll see if that pulls through. But as of right now, I don't want to throw any dates out there because I want someone to show up and realize it never happened. So
don't want to disappoint anybody.
It's all contingent. Adam says the car will get done in time before October, but we're trying to figure out if we can make it work. So you're catching us in sort of a transitional phase as we're coming out of our franchise puberty into franchise adulthood, and we'll sadly
your ecto testicles are dropping. It's great. It's fantastic.
You'll find ecto where we did before. Your voice will drop, but so we're trying to figure it out. We're still new, so I mean. But always check on our Facebook page, and we'll always post there. And we're again, our business model is putting the cart before the horse. So I got no answer for you.
Well, it's working. It's working so far.
But yeah, and make sure everybody who's watching this, go ahead and Ted threw down the website. It's really easy. GhostbustersNW.com. Go ahead and go over there now, and check that out while you have your browser open. So show these guys some love.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks again. Yeah. I mean, so PKE, that'll be done hopefully soon, and we're also wrapping up a fake commercial we'll post up there where the whole idea is like the cross skills from working in tech in Washington with Microsoft and Amazon, all these things, and how you can just transition to the world of ghostbusting real easy. The whole gimmick is don't work at a job that makes you half dead. Work with a job with a full dead.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
we'll work on a fake commercial.
Great tagline. It's a great tagline.
So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully sooner than later. Yeah. But we appreciate everyone being patient with us as we make more cartoons and get off the ground. We're very much pleasantly caught off guard with all the interest early on, and so we're trying our best to live up to expectations.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And as other events start coming, through for you guys, and as you find charity groups to support, you find causes to support, we want to hear about them. So don't be shy about promoting them, send them over to us. We want to make sure you guys get the awareness out there for what you're doing, and also that we find ways to bring other fans and have, a ways to support you guys. So appreciate you guys talking with us.
And I would love any franchises in the Northwest that maybe I don't know about because they're peppered everywhere. Reach out, say hi, come reach out to the website. I would love to collaborate and bring our forces together and go from there. Because I mean, I've gone to like GhostbusterFans.com and looked at the Northwest, and a lot of the posts are sort of years old, and so anyone who wants to dust off the old pack and the old uniform and join us, please reach out.
If there's anybody that has excellent like website skills, like that can do something like in 5 minutes, we just need like a map with pin drops of every single chapter across the country, and we just need to quickly like find folks. If anybody has that or can figure how to do that out, reach out to us so we can kind of talk about it and stuff. But easy ways to find groups in our area that we can band together with, show support for, and that would just be amazing. There you go.
So Google Maps, you can call it like Moogly Maps or something. Like there's got to be something there.
That's it right there. That's what we got to do. I love it.
Maps.
I love it. Awesome. Maddie, is there anything else that we're talking about this evening?
Yeah, well, I mean, we can or not, depending on what the chat says. If they want to watch it, we can. There was new gameplay from Spirits Unleashed, but it's a cut from a Twitch, so I don't really want to listen to devs talk because devs are the most boring people in the world.
Just mute the video. We'll just watch it.
Okay, yeah, I think we should watch it.
Yeah.
It's like Kissinger talking about Ghostbusters.
It's
like I'm gonna become a ghost. Listen to these devs.
And if anybody in the chat also has questions for the Northwest guys, drop those questions in the chat so we can ask them.
We've been known for working with a lot
Can
of
you guys hear that?
IPs in the game.
We can, but go ahead
Okay.
and mute the video.
Yeah. You want me to mute the video?
Yeah.
All right.
Then we can just watch the gameplay. So this is cool because that's the prison that I haven't seen any video of the prison yet. So hopefully we get to see that pretty soon. So Bo and Rob, have you guys been keeping up with Spirits Unleashed? How excited are you guys for this video game?
I tell you, yeah, I've been seeing all the posts and stuff, and I mean, I want to sound like everyone else in the forums. Like, is it canon? Like, I'm curious though, because because obviously we're seeing Winston at a la Afterlife and stuff. So like,
absolutely, yeah.
How intertwined all these media are going to be? I know they oftentimes will say, all the media adds up to one thing, but I do like this how it's. I mean, I loved the obviously the game from 2009. That was just like chef's kiss.
It was a godsend, yeah.
So this one looks fun too. Although I wish it was a little more realistic in terms of. I mean, it's a little cartoony. Is it? Are they going full cartoony or realistic? But that's just the art director in me. I can ruin anything for anyone, so just by overanalyzing it. But
yeah,
I love. I mean, the PKAs look great. The proton guns look great. And that's the first barometer. I think it's like you could tell they love the concept and they love the franchise. And I'm curious to see what the characters are because it looks like they have some. Are those new characters just skins that are just, or do they have really bios behind them? I'd love to see how they sort of flesh out the characters behind.
I think it's going to be very light story wise. Yeah. I think because we have Dan and Ernie voicing it, it's probably going to be canon. Obviously, if any nuggets are given, but I think it's going to be kind of more like things we already know. Like this is how you would train a Ghostbuster. Ray is in his occult bookshop, maybe helping him out with some things from here to there. But I think that it's going to be kind of more of like a Fortnite type, game. And I think what's the game it's based on, Ted? Do you remember the name of the game? It's almost like the same game. Yeah, it's like the Friday the 13th game. It was it was called something like that. I forget what the name of it was, but
I think these are the same guys that did the Predator game, and it's sort of the same concept. You have survivors going against like one antagonist and vice versa, and it's a competition between the two, a 4v1 format. So they've incorporated the Predator game into this game.
Yeah,
I do like the fact that you can be a ghost. That's I think a nice twist that you haven't had yet.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, especially because there's only one of you. So like if you're playing with your friends or whatever, and like you get to be the one who's like fucking them up.
Yeah. No shit given mode. Exactly.
Oh man,
it's exciting. It's a great format. There's very few games I think where you can sort of play either like an antagonist against your friends and all that. but one game that always came to mind was Left 4 Dead. In Left 4 Dead, you would play these zombie characters, but they had very unique abilities or very unique attack styles. And so when you would play up against other players, it was a lot of fun. It was great to incapacitate them, separate them and divide and conquer. And just I'm hoping that we learn more about this game and how badly you can
Yeah.
affect the characters, the other playable characters, and I think it could be a lot of fun. I'm
Do you
hoping.
see them?
I'm
Do
hoping
you see
so.
them showing this off right here? So
Can I
they're
take one
showing
of
off.
the active list?
They're showing off some of the customization on the outfits. How Northwest is that? You're just gonna throw a vest on over the.
Yeah, I was like, shit. That's some fair trade sheep's wool REI
Yeah.
sweater action. I kind of like
There you
this. I
go.
kind of like this sweater style. I mean, the vest. I kind of like the tactical vibe. It kind of
Yeah.
ease you up. It helps hide the belly because you have
Mhm.
the dark lines
Mhm.
going down.
Yeah, and this looks like, I mean, what is this? It's just a Patagonia. It's just a beautiful, beautiful vest, and that's a cool customization I haven't seen yet. And a look at the Proton Pack, it looks like this one is very realistic to what it was in the games. I thought they were going to change it up a little bit more.
It
Though.
looks
No,
like
no,
it's
no.
the
There's
fighting too.
multiple ones. There are multiple packs. We've seen that already.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so this is like your starter kit, though, right?
Starter
So
standard pack. Yeah.
And it looks to me like it's the afterlife lighting pattern on the red lights.
yeah, that is
With the
interesting.
faster pattern. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual spinning versus the on and off.
Which is an interesting touch that Jason took on that last movie. And
That's how
I literally just upgraded my pack, and then the movie came out. I'm like, oh my gosh.
my next thing, that's my pack. I did like. I really do. It just makes absolute sense. Like, yeah, it's just that's
Why
the
wouldn't
proton
it be?
spinning
Yeah.
around, and
Yeah.
you're seeing it through the
Yeah.
car window.
And it's funny that that's probably like what they were going for, but they didn't have
Mm-hmm.
the ability to make that. So they were like, okay, well, we'll just make the lights go around in a circle.
Yeah, my goal with my pack is to try to make it look like it's like my goal is not to make it look like the props exactly, but sort of like the props are based on that. Like as if mine was the actual machine the props are based on. So I'm trying to put little things in there that make it feel mechanical. Like I just took apart some transistor tubes that my grandpa had, and I welded them together. I'm going to put them in the barrel just so it feels like there's mechanics in there. But but also like I want to maybe I'm going to try to put together a light system where maybe at the spinning you see little subtle flashes of yellow and orange as if some of the particles are exploding within the cyclotron, just little things but that's why I really like that red spinning, because it really felt you have that violent.
Yeah. It
Going
felt
on.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. And like, obviously we get scared of people taking liberties on the properties that we know and love. But that was a great liberty for Jason to take in that, and kind of, changing the technology a little bit as the way that we knew it. I thought that was a very classy way to do it. But the 3D printed Ghostbusters group is going to go crazy with this video game.
Oh shit!
All of these different mods and all this stuff, like people are going to have packs that look completely different at Comic Cons in the next years moving forward. There's going to be a lot of different looking Ghostbusters out there, which is awesome.
Yeah, totally. I feel like with the way Jason handled the proton packs and stuff in the movie was like a photograph going from standard def to HD. Like he didn't really change anything; he just brought details to the surface.
Yeah, I agree. What a great way to say that. You're such a salesman.
Remember, his level of interest is unhealthy. So it's,
I hope everybody's watching. That is a new thrower or wand, and did it shoot? It kind of looked more like fire, not just
this one here,
a proton stream. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely different. I've not seen that yet. I'll then put it away.
I do like how you have to keep going back to your PKE to find the ghost.
I love it. Yes,
because it is an investigation, right? Like that's what we're doing, right? So I love how that's incorporated into it. So we're still investigating this area. It's not just a free for all. Like eventually the ghost can hide, and you guys got to go find it. Like that's cool.
It's forcing you to use the mechanics of the films. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, the game looks awesome, guys. But I just wanted to share a little bit of that. If you haven't seen it yet, just search. It's on Ghostbusters News. It's one of the first stories that's up there. So definitely check that out. It's got me very excited. October 8th, I think, is the
18th. 18th.
October 18th. Okay, yeah. And then I think we're going to do some live streams. So if you guys, want to, put together some petty cash yourselves, grab a console, and we do tournaments of all the different chapters, playing this game and live stream it.
The goal is to do some tournaments between chapters just for fun, have some bragging rights, do
Well, I mean, we're going to win.
involve some charity, not if you listen to the South Dakota Ghostbusters, but involve some sort of charity aspect of it. But yeah, all of that is also in the works. You gentlemen are also more than welcome to participate. And also, we're going to tell you what we told every other group that we've been talking with. Last December was probably one of the first times that all the chapters, or just several dozens of chapters, all came together for a unique cause. The actual social media handle for the Ghostbusters franchise asked everyone, sort of at the last minute, but asked everyone to participate in a toy drive. And this was like less than a week to plan and put into effect. But we did it, and it was a tremendous um, cause, and it was great, and there was so much participation from just random strangers. They would just see us, see the box, they go next door to a store, they buy a few things and drop it off. No thank you. They didn't want any sort of anything in return. They just wanted to help out of the kindness of their hearts. It was fantastic to see so many people wanting to get involved. And it was, like I mentioned, very little time to plan anything at all. So this time around, this December, or maybe closer to the end of November, we're also asking for Ghostbusters chapters to do a same or similar toy drive. More time to plan, more time to collect items, and we want to have at least 20 chapters involved. And we're also throwing out the invitation to you gentlemen to also participate in a toy drive in your area, with other chapters that you know of, or other friends that you want to get together. And will you participate in the 2022 Ghostbusters toy drive this winter?
Yeah, we can find
Yeah.
some toys.
Well, it's so easy. All you got to do is you get the box, and then you put on your stuff, and then at Christmas time, and then people will just come up to you. Sometimes they won't even acknowledge you when they're walking into the store, but then we'll drop things off and then keep going. So I want to raise thousands of toys this year for underprivileged kids. I want to send them out there. So any chapters we can get that would take even one night out of their holiday season, suit up and put a box out in front of a store. That's the idea.
As an easy ask.
Yeah, awesome. See, we got another one.
Fantastic. We got another one. And same thing goes out to all other chapters who are listening or watching right now. Another Ghostbusters toy drive. Whether or not the social media handle for the Ghostbusters decides to do it again this year, they really should. But in case they forgot, we're going to go ahead and make sure this happens once again, and we're going to make sure that we add more time to it so that we can gain even more items for kids, for families who need it. So reach out to us, and we'll also start reaching out to more groups and putting out a plan, timetable, if you will, for all this to go down.
We have a busy schedule, Ted. We
We
are,
do.
just so everyone knows, we are packed out now for, like, I would say 12 weeks of the show. I might have to start doubling up on the shows and getting 2 chapters in. We're gonna
I'm
have
down.
the London Ghostbusters are in, the Australia Ghostbusters are in. We got a lot of things coming up here, so I think we can get enough people worldwide to participate to make a difference, and I can't wait to do it. Okay, I got a lot of time. I'm going crazy in here. Okay, I need to do something.
And the London Ghostbusters are all about wine, so you'll fit right in.
Nice.
Nice
Are we talking
to meet
about
you.
London, Ontario, or London, England?
No, London, Ontario. No, I don't
Awesome.
recognize the jurisdiction.
Well, that's a show, right? What else do we got?
If you need an opening, let me know.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you about that.
Paxton's in the chat says Ghostbusters 2 with Santa hats. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we all got to do. That's what we all got to do. And Paxton also says another one, hashtag Team Terry. We'll tell you guys about that. But
Yeah.
it's been a fantastic show. We appreciate Bo, Rob joining us today. Your videos are legendary. You're doing so much for other chapters across the country, especially since you're also willing to let people use it to help spread the fandom, to help spread the love for the franchise. We appreciate it so much. We also have folks in the chat that are thanking you for it. So understand that this is a kindness, and it's going a very long way, and everybody's appreciating it. So thank you to you both. We cannot wait to see what the future holds. You guys are going to be massive, and anything you got going on, please let us know. Please allow us to support you guys and promote any events you got coming up. Sound good?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Right on,
It's been a blast. And again, thank you so much.
Yep.
Absolutely. Everybody in the chat, say thank you and say what's up once again to the Ghostbusters Northwest. Show them some love. Also, go visit their website at ghostbustersnw.com to find out what events they got coming up. To also see their Ecto. They got videos of their Ecto that they are building. So go check that out as well. It's going to be incredible. And if you have more questions about their videos on YouTube, their YouTube channel, Ghostbusters NW, if you have any questions, reach out to them on Facebook or their website. Please do that. Yeah, their videos are incredible, and they're so well made. They're so funny. They're so intriguing. They're so entertaining, and we can't wait to see what else you guys got.
Yeah, you're embarrassing us.
Yeah.
Oh my
More.
God.
No, more.
And also buy our merch. Yeah. So
Yeah.
while you're checking out Ghostbusters Northwest, make sure you stop by the Geekcast store and get the Real Geekcasters T-shirt. It's it's the same price as it always is, and it's always worth it. So
There you
either
go.
way,
There you
no
go.
discounts. No discounts.
Yeah, find that link. Find that link on our YouTube channel as well as Facebook. It's in our link tree. It's towards the top. Yeah, we appreciate everybody who's purchased T-shirts already. More coming from not only the Ghostbusters Northwest, but our group as well, the San Antonio Ghostbusters. We have a ton of events lined up. We're going to be dropping a list of them here pretty soon. We will be at the Ray Feo River Parade at the end of the month. It's on the 25th of September. We will be there, I believe, after 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're in the South Texas or San Antonio area, come party with the San Antonio Ghostbusters on the riverboat, and it's going to be a great time. Food,
And it's
music,
gonna be
drinks.
themed as an Ecto. I wish it was gonna be it's gonna be themed out as an Ecto. It's gonna be a good time. We'll all be out there, so come check us out.
It's going to be a great time. That's our next event, and then we'll tell you guys about more things coming up. Paxton, I see you. T Public for the South Dakota Ghostbusters. Go check out their merch as well. We love it. We love it. All right, folks, that'll do it. That'll do it for us. For the Ghostheads Radio Show, my name is Steady. Joining me as always is the one and only Matty B.
Nice. I don't have a can to crush. I always do, but I
No.
wasn't drinking beer today, so I'm sorry. I let you guys down, but I will crush 2 cans next week. I promise.
And makes
Yeah.
perfect.
This one's
Y'all
cool.
give it. There you go. Y'all give it for our special guests, Bo and Rob, the Northwest Ghostbusters team. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.